One Guy, Two Spoons is on YouTube as of right now with over 1 million views, 1.3 million views, and it was uploaded 2 years ago, July 18th, 2022. Now, I want to clarify this much. The video is not graphic necessarily, not gruesome whatsoever, and not violent, which is why I think it's still on YouTube. I don't think it's getting picked up on, and I don't even think it's getting reported or anything like that, because it is not the worst thing that has been on this website. As we do know, earlier this year, I went over Quiero Agua, which was, I didn't understand how that was on this platform at all, or any platform, but, you know, One Guy, Two Spoons is making its rounds once again, popped up in my feed, and let me tell you what it is about, okay? So essentially, a guy grabs a spoon, he grabs a metal one, and he puts it to the top of his eye to bulge it out. Then he grabs a plastic spoon, which that part of the video, I just had to pause it, I'm sorry. It just blew my mind that he needed to get his eye out so fucking bad. He didn't even care what utensil he uses. He didn't care if it was metal, if it was plastic. And he puts it under, pulls it out, bulges out a bit, and that's it. Guys, it is not the most gruesome thing. It is still stomach-wrenching, still not for the faint of the heart, still not a good watch, right? Of course, that is all true. But not even by comparison to what's been on this website or any other platform, it's just not that bad. You don't even need comparison. And it kind of comes off, I'm going to be honest, my opinion, it comes off as more like a, I hate to say it, as like a bro thing. You know, you want to see some weird shit? And that comes off as like a fraternity thing. Like either he had to do that or kiss the inside of a toilet. It comes off as like a frat trick. Now, of course, there's no backstory to it. It's only 27 seconds, and some people claim that there's a longer version, which we already know how these longer versions are. It's going to be exactly what you saw, but it cut off. And it's 1,000 times more gruesome than you thought it was. So right here, we got the stick notes version, which obviously me playing that right here. And then you get this comment that says, I found the original video on YouTube, but the dude didn't took his eye out using a spoon, blah, blah, blah. Then this guy under him, he replies with, it was the cut version, not full. So there's a full version, which I guess the stick notes version is supposed to be the recreation of it. No, how would that even be possible? Under what circumstances would it be possible that you're able to pull out one of your eyes, let alone both of them, record it, and what does he do? Walking around with a fucking blindfold like Kenshi from Mortal Kombat, just uploading this shit? That's not possible. Guys, that's not happening. Okay? It just comes off as some shit that some guy did. Kind of like when I was growing up, kids used to do this. You ever been at a lunch table and they used to flip their eyelids? You'd be like, yo, what's your problem? And they would just stare at you blinking. It's like, that's disgusting. Like, I'm trying to eat this really disgusting pizza already with this dirty ass chocolate milk, and you're batting your eyes at me, and I can see your mucous membrane. Can you stop this shit? And they're like, okay. And you had these kids who snorted milk and they would squeeze it out of it. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you doing? That used to piss me off. But let me tell you this much, guys. Going back to the topic, not only did we have the stick notes version, but because there's no backstory on this, and I looked, and maybe there is, but I couldn't find it, right? I just want to say I could not find it personally. Somebody made a creepy pasta. Oh, yes. Oh, you ready? Oh, get ready for what you're about to hear. This is possibly going to be the worst thing I've ever read in my entire life. I would rather read fucking divorce papers than read this shit. Okay, this is one of the worst things ever. Now, go ahead, get yourself a drinky drink, get yourself a snacky snack. We're going to be going over this. It's really bad, okay. So, I had to translate this. So, again, if there's any grammatical errors, that's what that is. This was like in Portuguese, so bear with me, please. This is what happens. The story starts out and it says, you know, one lunatic, one ice pick, one man, one jar, three guys, one hammer. Well, that's nothing compared to this video. One guy, two spoons. This is the worst of the worst. And he describes the video. The guy gouging out his eyes, which we already know it's only one eye. He doesn't gouge it out. He just pops it out. And then after that, he went to go have dinner with his mom. He went to go have dinner with his family. So he's watching this on his computer upstairs. He comes down the stairs, little dinner bell. Honey, dinner is ready. Gling, 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 gling. Comes off that World of Warcraft, gets all that titty sweat off himself, wiping himself with the same dirty rag that he fucking nutted in. Here we go. And he looks at the table, and on the table was 3 spoons. And he couldn't help himself. His mind, it tried to make him pull his eyes out. Pull it out. Pull it out. Come on now, pull it out. Pull it out. Well, okay, hold on. Pause. Pause. Time out. Pause. Yeah, seriously, women telling me that, guys, that never happened. We're cutting that part out of the video. Reminder. Anyway, so after that, that's what his mind's telling him, to pull out his eyes. Then he snaps out of it because, and I quote, guys, this is an actual quote. Please, listen to me. He says he would regret it because he would not, in fact, grow another eyeball. Yes, that's what stopped him, was the idea that he would not grow an eyeball back. So under the fucking circumstances in which we could grow eyeballs, this guy would just be pulling them out and putting them in jars on some Leatherface shit. Like, come on. Is that really what we're doing? So that's what stopped him. Or is that because then he says that his dad came in and stopped him. So I guess his dad came to him? No! No! His dad came into the house and stopped him. That's what happened. No. Guys, his dad walked into the house and said, "Stop it." That's what happened. So after that, his dad stopped him, said, "Hey, knock it off. Don't pull out your eyes. That's not good for you." That's what happened. He was indecisive. And I quote, this guy was indecisive and couldn't stop himself from breathing. I guess he couldn't catch his breath, but I mean, like, you're not supposed to, like, stop yourself from breathing. I think breathing is essential to life, but that's just an opinion thing. And then he told everybody about it. And everybody started laughing at him. People to point, "You're such an idiot. Da-da-da-da-da. You're goofy. What are you talking about?" No one believed him. Nobody believed him. And then there were cops pulling up into the parking lots. There were cops, vehicles everywhere. Cops surrounding. Oh my God, what's happening? What's happening? And all these cops are running into this playground because they heard that there were monkey bars. Okay, listen. Moving on from that, they found a young girl. Okay, this is a story. Don't look at me no other way. Don't look at me sideways. Don't look at me horizontally or vertically. This is the story. They found a deceased young girl with her eyes gouged out. And, and she had a shot to the chest, like a bullet wound. And the cops found this body. And then the narrator says, was she a victim of one guy, 2 spoons? Like, what does that even mean? Like, is this guy going around spooning everybody? I don't get that. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, I guess when you watch the video, like, you're cursed. And then that's it. It's like, what's that? The Keechlo get to Glob Glorb guy. You know what I'm talking about. The red face and he stares at you. And if for some reason you get this impulse to hurt yourself. It's so stupid. I'm so tired of these creepypastas where it's always you watch a video, you're cursed. That's it. Like, what is that? That's like so fucking unoriginal. And it didn't work when The Ring did it or whatever that movie thing was called. Scary Movie made fun of it. It didn't work then. That was 20 years ago. It didn't work 10 years ago. And people are still going for this. Like, guys, it's such a shitty concept. Don't watch a video. Video bad. You're cursed. Die. Come on. So anyway, after this, he states, do not watch that video because he's traumatized. Don't watch it. Can't sleep no more. He's not counting sheep. And then oh man. This is how the story ends. This is how the story goes. To the ring, to the phone, whatever. This is how it goes. He states, this is the last line of the creepypasta. This guy states, I think I will go to a kitchen and get spoons now. Yeah. I was a tough freak. Yeah. Does that mean he's gonna spoon himself? Guys, this is what happens. Anytime there's not a backstory, There's always some stupidity that comes out, and there's always that one asshole just waiting there, waiting to write the most abysmal thing you've ever heard in your entire life. That is up there. That's worse than Green Ball. I will say it's worse than Green, because at least Green Ball, Green Ball was like HIV, right? But at least it was like stupidity that you can kind of laugh at it. This was just pure AIDS. Like, this was no immune system. This was completely compromised. It was just every single line after every single line was just worse than the last. This was more ass than a naked baboon. People, this was horrible. This was one of the worst things I've ever read inside my entire life. Don't want to read it again. And it's like, what am I supposed to do? Sit here and just... He's behind me, isn't he? Ah!